with their ruler, so that they will follow him regardless of their lives, undismayed by any danger. Sun Tzu listed this ability for the public to be in accord with their ruler as the first factor through which he could predict victory or defeat in a conflict. Kinetic factors were secondary. In this regard, we can identify Crimea as being Putin's Achilles heel. It is not only a vital warm water port, airbase, and supply route for the Russian forces fighting in eastern Ukraine, it's as important of a political objective. Putin's annexation of the peninsula in 2014 was widely seen as his greatest foreign policy achievement before the war. The loss of Crimea after the Soviet Union collapsed was an embarrassment in Russia for deep historical reasons. Putin's recapture of it was his claim to being the equal of some of Russia's greatest rulers. He spent a significant amount of resources in the following years to fortify the peninsula with troops, ships, air bases, and anti-access area denial missiles. He also spent billions to connect it to the Russian mainland via the Kerch Bridge. To make matters worse, if Ukraine were to recapture Crimea, it would be able to completely rebuild to its pre-2014 strength while being a member of NATO. Russia's current hold over the peninsula ensures that even if Ukraine regained all the territory it held before the 2022 invasion, it would be restricted in its access to the sea, especially the Sea of Azov. This would be devastating because, as General Hodges pointed out, two of Ukraine's most important pre-war ports, Berdyansk and Mariupol, were on the Sea of Azov. So even if Ukraine recaptured these cities, they would not add much to its economy as long as Russia maintained Crimea. Other ports like Odessa and Kherson would also be easily disrupted if the Russians decided to use their bases and weapons in Crimea to interdict the shipping. In this interview, General Hodges said that he had spoken to major investors who would not want to take the risk of helping Ukraine to rebuild its economy so long as the Russians could use Crimea to threaten their efforts. Meanwhile, without Crimea, Russia would be unable to effectively check Ukraine and NATO in the Black Sea.